Welcome back, everyone. Today we are back here at Halloween Horror Nights to test out Express Pass. Now you guys know that we do this annually every single year. We bring you guys along, test out Express, show you guys all of the details, pretty much how much time we save, and then you can kind of make that decision whether or not you feel like it is worth it. So I'm gonna explain how we do this. Every time we get into a line, we're gonna show you what the posted standby wait is. We're gonna start our timer as soon as we stop moving in Express, and then we'll show you how long that we end up waiting. And then by the end of the video, you'll see the entire standby wait, the entire time that we waited, and then the total time that we ended up saving. Now, I know that you guys have kind of had critiques in the past. You said, oh, you're doing it on a Sunday or a Thursday. You're not doing it at the prime time. So today is the prime time to use it now, which is a Saturday between like 8 and 9 p.m. start time, bringing us through the most hectic point of the night. So hopefully this is a good representation of Express Pass for you guys. This should be like the final version, right? This is Saturday, opening weekend, prime time. Everything lines up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. If you don't mind, please consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more Halloween Horror Nights content. But we're gonna get inside, get this started, and hopefully by the end of the video, you guys will have a good idea whether or not you feel like Express Pass is worth it at HHN 34. Since we haven't been outside in this area very often, you can see these like vines just kind of being displayed from the lights. But also, if you look at the medallion, it's very hard to tell what's written on it because of the way the lighting is. Like, it doesn't really pop here. You can see all the posters, but the actual medallion, I feel like the lights kind of like blow it out. Now, as you get closer, it's a lot easier to tell, but as you're kind of like approaching it, it's way different. It's bizarre. This is also our first time not doing stain screen this season, so we're going to just kind of check in. I see people lined up here. It looks like they're just checking it out. I'm guessing they don't have HHN tickets, unfortunately, but we're gonna get checked in, head on in, get this party started. It's gonna be interesting with the whole hub situation too, to see how much time it ultimately takes us here. Take a look at these wait times, by the way. So it's not gonna get more accurate than this. 5 nights, 100. Grave is the lowest, by the way, in the park at 45. We'll wait to see if that bumps up so we can do that one. 75 Terrifier, 85 for Wyatt Sicks. So we're gonna head back here in the hub. We did kind of explain the best way to utilize the hub when you're coming through. There's 2 different ways to come back here, and I'll talk about it here for just a split second. So we are heading through Route A right now to the hub. So there's 2 routes. There's A and B. A will take you back here to 5 Nights and Wyatt Sicks. That's kind of the 2 houses that are the closest on this side. If you take B, it's going to take you to Terrifier and Grave of Flesh. However, once you're back in the hub, you can still navigate behind and get over to the other side. That'll be the fastest way. But if you're looking to go to either set of those houses, I would highly recommend utilizing Path A if you want to go, again, to 5 Nights or Wyatt Sicks right away, or Path B for Terrifier or Grave of Flesh. Now again, here is the signage so you can kind of see. You'll actually end up kind of going all the way back and around. 5 Nights is actually right here, and then to the right is actually Wyatt Sicks. All right, we're gonna start here with 5 Nights at Freddy's, posted 100 minutes. Let's see how much time we save. Something new we're gonna do this year is we're actually gonna start the timer at the basically beginning of this video, and we're gonna see how long it takes us to finish everything up between walking and everything else. And wow, we didn't make it very far for this one, so we'll end up seeing how long we end up waiting. But again, we're gonna start the timer. Nicole will be on timer duty, so go ahead and click start, and we'll wait and see. We just hit the merch point. We're about 20-ish minutes, a little over 20. So I think we're doing pretty good right now. Our total time waited was 24:23. So I'll probably end up rounding things up just to kind of have even numbers to work with. Obviously, there's always leniency by the time you start, stop, whatnot, but there you go. Now again, here's the big thing. You spit out and you have to go walking in this hub for quite a while now again. If we want to go back to WWE, we have to go all the way back and around. So let's see what the waits are over here. Don't forget, they have ponchos for sale. I know I point this out every time, right outside the Terrifier house, but it is a posted 85, so let's go see how much time we can save with Terrifier. Also, Terrifier is one of the only queues for this hub that has a majority, if not all, of its queue outdoors here. We have just stopped, so we're gonna start our timer. There you go. Looks like we have about 3 switchbacks here to get through for Express. We just merged around 11 to 12 minutes, so this seems to be going a little bit quicker than 5 nights. Forget, you may get wet. We are not taking the wet path tonight. We will be taking the dry path. All right, so just about 15 minutes. Not bad at all. Definitely some time saved there. Also, I do want to point out over here, you have one of the AAP stations, so you can get a return time for any of the houses, I believe. I think this one allows you actually to come over here and kind of like sign for any of the houses, and it's very close to Wyatt Sicks. You have Wyatt Sicks right there and 5 Nights over here to the left. But again, we are heading over here to the Wyatt Sicks. Once we finish up the hub, we'll kind of talk about the houses and kind of give like a very brief review. Obviously, today's video is mostly focused on how much time can we save here using Express. You know, it's always kind of just a gamble, really. So we have, again, about 55 minutes, but nobody is really here for Express, at least to scan in. There's pretty much no wait, so shouldn't be too bad on this one at all. We're starting the timer. We are just about to merge already. That's really nice. It's still crazy just how everything willy weaves through here. I mean, they had to take time to design how they were going to lay everything out, but it works, kind of. That might be our shortest of the night at 3:28. Last house back here in the hub will be Grave of Flesh. I do have to say, though, they were so aggressive in that house. I feel like they are stepping it up. I feel like they want to win House of the Year with Wyatt Sicks for sure. Grave of Flesh did drop down to 40 minutes. It was about 50 before we went to Wyatt Sicks. So let's go see what our time saved is. I'm gonna guess it might be trending down, so people might head this way here very soon. Okay, we just stopped. Let's see. I said Wyatt Sicks might be the shortest, but maybe Grave of Flesh is. It also seems like they have a very tight merge point. So like the second you scan in, you pretty much merge, and then the house is actually like right here. I know it's very dark to see, but like you don't go very far after you scan in. It does look like Grave of Flesh beat out Wyatt Sicks with the lowest time of the night at 2 minutes and 16 seconds. What I also want to point out, though, is our current running time. So we are at 1 hour and almost 38 minutes for those 4 houses, but we didn't wait that long. It just goes to show you how much you are actually walking back there and kind of just navigating around. We've been doing a really good job kind of moving and grooving, but over 1.5 hours to do those. So just keep that in mind. Haven't waited that long, but just the walking portion, and we talk about that all the time. It is just a lot of walking. You know, it's interesting to see how much extra time we added when 2 of those lines were under 5 minutes. And then the houses, you could say, are about a 5-minute walkthrough, if you will. Terrifier, I do think, is pretty long, but just in general, that's a lot of time additional, you know, on top of the actual wait times there. So let's kind of head towards, I guess, maybe El Artista, or maybe we'll go to the back and end with El Artista. I don't know yet. Let me look at the wait times to see if we can find you kind of those higher wait times to make sure that we're utilizing Express to the full potential. So Fallout is the only thing that has too long of a wait. It's 90. So El Artista is a posted 60, so this is actually going to be a pretty good option. So we're going to do El Artista while we're up here. As far as those houses go, I feel like Grave of Flesh felt the weakest. It did feel a little empty, actually, too. 5 Nights had a lot more boo holes, a lot more scare actors in there. It was a little bit more horror-esque, if you will. We also had Wyatt Sicks, super aggressive. Like I said, I think they are trying to go for House of the Year with how much they are going at it. And then Terrifier, just as stinky, just as long, just as bloody and gory. It was great. And it looks like we are coming to a pause. Also, we had to go through all of these switchbacks. No one's in them, but we had to kind of like willy weave. But we are here. Timer is started. It's still so crazy to me that we're just like under Rip Ride right now. And it's just gone forever. It's wild. Actually, like in the back, you can start to see like the open land that they've kind of dug up. But a lot of it still stands, actually. So we did end up waiting a little over 10 minutes there. And we are now moving on to Jason, which is a posted 120-minute wait. Wow, look at that. That's gonna be a tough one. Let's see how much time we can save here. All right, we just stopped. Actually, we just started moving, to be fair, but we had already stopped, so there we go. Timer is set. Okay, we're in the hallway. So 120-minute posted. We waited about 22 minutes, so almost 100 minutes saved. How have you liked El Artista and Jason now? These are our last 2 houses we've done.
Jason, you know, like last night, like it is just full of scares. It's still hitting. No big screams. The air puffs really get to me. I'm never expecting those, or like one of them hit my thigh and like that kind of scared me tonight. So I'm really enjoying Jason tonight. El Artista, I noticed a couple new scares, but also some empty like boo holes. So I'm excited to see like all of those empty boo holes plus the new scares like together for just the ultimate house.
Yeah, so I think depending on where you're at in Jason too, you could either get hit with like everything or you can miss some. I know. What's up? Oh God, you're so dark. I do think depending on where you get with Jason could kind of make a big impact on your run. I've heard some people say they didn't get hit by like anything, which I find surprising because they're very aggressive and fast in there. But I think tonight I would give it to Wyatt Sicks for the aggression and like what was hitting. But yesterday I went first through Jason and I got hit more. I think Nicole got maybe a few more tonight with Jason. I don't know, both those houses I think are the most aggressive and they just keep hitting you. Jason's got a lot more, I think, but I do think Wyatt Sicks has a lot more like big punchy ones that kind of catch you. So it kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you want like a lot more aggression just like throughout the house and kind of just hitting quick, you go with Jason. If you want something big and impactful, I would say Wyatt Sicks, at least for now. This can always change later on. But we're gonna head back to the hub and then the last 2 10 houses, and then we will be done. Let me show you what our timer is looking like right now for like the time being, as we have done 6 houses. Currently, we are a little over 2 hours and 45 minutes right now, so we're doing pretty good. Again, 6 houses in under 3 hours, not bad, but again, goes to show you how much we've actually waited, but how much we're actually walking. One of our biggest updates is right now happening at the restrooms. They are open. We are going to head back to the hub now. We have Fallout at 60 and Galkn at 50, so this should be a decent kind of idea of what time we're gonna save here. Now again, we have Fallout at 60 and Galkn at 50. We are going to start with Fallout. All right, we are coming to our stopping point. There you go. Definitely a number of switchbacks over here, so we'll see how long this takes us, but this is pretty close actually. We're almost at the merge point. Got a feeling this isn't gonna be more than like a minute. We kind of just already started walking, so kind of lucked out with this one. Another short one there, so 1 minute and 21 seconds. I will say it felt very empty on this run. Did you feel that way?
I agree. I feel like yesterday I felt empty, but then like today it felt like much more empty.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this is gonna be one of these houses where like the set is so great, but maybe that's what's carrying it. But it's still early. It's still so early.
Yeah, it's just not a lot of scare actors in there. In areas that we've seen them to, that's the other thing. Like there's a few hallways that we've seen like 2 or 3 normally, and they didn't have any of them. So very interesting. Either way, we're going into Galkn, posted 50. All right, it looks like we are coming to a stop. Another timer started. This one might be pretty short too. I don't think it's gonna be as short as Fallout though. Okay, I think I lied. It's gonna be probably just about the same, maybe even shorter. Very close. I do think Fallout was actually just a few seconds shorter. But again, 141 on a posted 50 is pretty dang good. But we are now over here at Dolls for our second to last house. This is a posted 40-minute wait. Let's go see how this is going. All right, we just stopped here. We're gonna start it up. Also very short for Express over here. Kind of had to go all the way back around there, but right now it looks like we're gonna have another very quick one. I believe the girl's name is Lila, and I think that is her messing with the dolls there. Well, a little bit longer than some of the others, but you're not gonna complain at 3 minutes for what, posted 40 or whatever it was. That's pretty nice. And our last house of the night will be Hatchet and Chains, posted 50 minutes. Also, just so you guys are aware, the Express for Hatchet is over here. It's not like from the main entrance. You got to come over here by the games. Another great option here. Look at this. I think we merged at the bottom of the ramp. The ramp's dang near empty too. All right, here we go. Timer stop. Last house. Hatchet and Chains. This house is definitely over-delivered. I think a lot of people are really enjoying it, so kudos to this team here. Another incredibly short wait at 1 minute and 26 seconds. And look at this, as we are now at the front of the park, basically done through the scare zones, walked back up to the front, finished everything, almost 4 hours on the dot. And that will do it. We cruised. We went very fast today. By the way, we started with an optimal route too. So this time we started at the front, we hit the hub, then we did El Artista, circled around to Jason, then did the back hub, and then the final 2 tent houses. So overall, I think I did some quick math. I think we were around 86 minutes or so. So the 4 hours out of that, we'd say about 86 minutes, give or take, was in lines waiting. Each house is roughly 5 minutes of like walk time through the house. So let's say about 50 minutes, 10 houses times 5. So we're looking at dang near 2 hours of walking around the park just to get around. So that is something that I always talk about. People don't realize that you save time, you gotta optimize the routes and everything like that, but you walk a lot. And we had the most optimized route. We did no food, we did no shows, we just went house, 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 and that was it, to show you how long it genuinely takes to do all of the houses with Express. That's not something that we did last year. Last year we kind of just like went at a slower pace and we kind of just like existed. But this year I really wanted to put it into perspective, how long it takes to do the houses with Express. So you could assume within about 4 hours, you could probably do all the houses. Now, all of this can change. Number one, based on how busy it is. Number two, any little hiccups, you know, if something's happening in a certain house or whatever it might be, sometimes lines are just longer than others, and sometimes the express lines are longer than others. You know, some of those waits were like 60 minutes, but at the end of the day, the express was so short that it cut it drastically, like a minute long. Where some of the houses, you know, maybe they were only 60 minutes, but maybe you're waiting like 20 minutes or so inside of the Express. So it all just depends on where the crowds are with Express as well, because it can vary so drastically. But at least this gives you an idea of what it looks like. Now, hopefully you guys got some good information from this. You were able to tell whether or not you feel like Express is worth it. I will never try and sell you on Express. For us, we believe it's worth it, but maybe for you, you don't find it worth it. Maybe you want to spend that money on merchandise, food, or other things. Either way, hopefully you guys had fun with us here today. If you don't mind, please give this video a thumbs up. We will be back with more Halloween Horror Nights content very soon. Hopefully we'll have our food review coming out in just a little bit of time. There's a few more items that we want to try before we actually get that one released. So hopefully that's out later this week. But either way, thank you guys so much for being here.